Greeting once again, Steve Stumbris with Purple Cow Organics. You know, this time of year when growers get together at the coffee shop, the conversation is often about yield. When they're at a desk or in their office, they're thinking about budget. And on the farm market report on the radio, it's really about what somebody will pay for the crop, the value of the crop, either on a per bushel or per pound basis. The one metric that takes into account all three of these variables is return on investment. Return on investment takes into consideration how much you produced, what did it cost you to produce it, and what is somebody likely to pay you for the crop. It's an interesting thing in these days of increasing fertilizer prices. Growers can turn to biology to maintain or increase their return on investment. Quite frankly, CX1 can help a grower who wants to maintain their current fertility rates, increase their yields, or CX1 can help a grower reduce their fertility rates and maintain their current yields. So in the segment today, we're going to take a look at ROI through the lens of a very comprehensive corn trial that was accomplished last year. 2 standalone starters, a number of other tank partners, including a sea mineral input, a limited species biological, and CX1. I like this study because there are 6 significantly sized replications of 29 different treatments done at one of the leading research facilities in the United States. As you can see, CX1 was featured in 6 of the 29 treatments. And I think it's notable that 13 of the 29 treatments topped the $1,450 return on investment mark. This is the data of the top performing treatments in the whitewater corn trial. You can see treatments that performed at the top, number 1, 2, 3, 4. Those all featured CX1 in the treatment. As you go down the road for the rest of the treatments that were the top performers, you'll see CX1 in 2 other cases. And what's interesting is only 2 of the top 12 treatments were in furrow applications. And when we isolate and look at only those treatments that were in furrow only, as opposed to the other 22 that were both in furrow and side dress, here's the data from the in-furrow only treatments. So that's a pretty nice testimonial for using CX1 in-furrow when planting. The data was summarized by a couple of the other participants in the trial, and I want to share their takes on what they saw. QLF is a manufacturer of a liquid carbon-based fertilizer. Their lead agronomist, when averaging all the variable parameters in the study, determined that 2 treatments tied at the top. You can see the treatments here. The treatment that included CX1 had a return on investment of $1,539. The treatment it tied with had a return on investment slightly less than that. So another participant in this trial featured an in-furrow starter that was a liquid nitrogen product. And one of the real critical factors for a company that's promoting liquid nitrogen is the metrics called nitrogen use efficiency. So here is the data from the trial looked at from their perspective. In the graph, you see nitrogen use efficiency with the liquid nitrogen product only. You see nitrogen use efficiency when you add carbon to that liquid nitrogen. And what I think is really impressive is you see the nitrogen use efficiency when you have a more complete and comprehensive blend of carbon, nitrogen, and biology. I think this highlights the fact that return on investment can be achieved both by what you add and what you can omit based on the complete nature of the liquid mix that you're using. Now again, That's nitrogen use efficiency, and we want to take a look at those same treatments as it relates to return on investment. So here is an example of an in-furrow planting of 10 gallons of 6% liquid nitrogen only. The yield of 231.9 bushels an acre, the return on investment of a little over $1,300. When you add a liquid carbon-based fertilizer to that, an in-furrow rate of 5 gallons of each, keeping your costs about the same, the bushels per acre increases to 239.5 bushels per acre with a return on investment of $1,390. But when that mix is complete, when you have the 5 gallons of the carbon-based fertilizer, 5 gallons of the liquid nitrogen, and you add essentially $12 of biology into that mix, you can see the yield jumps up to a little over 260 bushels an acre, and the return on investment goes from $1,390 to $1,527 an acre. That's a really nice jump in return on investment by adding, like I said, biology to the mix to make your mix complete. Biology is going to first help immobilize the other fertility inputs in the mix, meaning it's going to help prevent them from leaching away, and biology is going to help plant uptake when the plant needs the minerals throughout the growing season. Sometimes return on investment is a little more subtle than that, a little more invisible. We've shown some of this in the past, but CX1 is about yield first, nutrient density second. So again, a successful grower used CX1 to increase their yields, depicted here by, I think, emergence, consistent cob size, and tip fill. There's another return on investment element that goes along with that. When that corn that was planted with biology has 15% more protein and 7% more methionine, it has higher test weight and lower moisture. These are all, so to speak, invisible contributions to the grower's bottom line, all of which positively affect return on investment. In another case, you can see here alfalfa. A 43% yield increase is largely, I think, because of the solid stems versus the hollow stems. But when you can combine increased relative feed quality, increased amino acids and vitamins, then you're not only getting the benefit of the increased yield, you're getting the benefit of increased milk production, you're getting the benefit of herd health, higher constituents, which leads to better butter and cheeses. So it's about yield first, nutrient density second, and both of these contribute in a positive way to the grower's return on investment. Seed oil crops are another example. Again, yield first, oil percentage is a function of nutrient density, and you end up with minerals, microbes, and a catalyst growing not only more of a crop, but a more nutrient dense crop, which if the grower is fortunate, they're getting paid for it. If they're, again, feeding that forage to their own herd, it's definitely an advantage for the growers. Bottom line, their return on the investment they're making. So that's kind of the summary today. Yield first, nutrient density second. They both contribute to the grower's bottom line. They both enhance the grower's return on investment. In this time of uncertain fertilizer prices, growers are turning to biology to either add biology to a current fertility program to increase their yields, or using biology to keep the same yields and allowing the grower to cut back just a little bit on the rates of their other fertilizers. Biology immobilizes the inputs first, makes them plant available second. So thanks for tuning in today. More to come. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.